You've seen them in photos, heard the legends. But what if I told you the pyramids are hiding secrets we've only just begun to uncover? From mysterious energy fields to hidden chambers untouched for thousands of years. This isn't just history. It's a real-life mystery waiting to be solved. Let's dive into the truth behind the pyramids of Egypt and what they never taught you in school. The Great Pyramid of Giza. For nearly 5,000 years, we've been told a simple story. Pharaoh Khufu built this colossal monument as his tomb. Constructed by thousands of workers in just 20 short years, armed with nothing but primitive copper chisels, ropes, and sheer determination. As you can see, we're just leaving a lot of metal, and very little stone is plagued. But here's the problem. Practically everything you've ever learned about the pyramids isn't based on solid facts. It's based on educated guesses at best. So what if the real story isn't just incomplete, but deliberately hidden? At the heart of this mystery stands one man, Dr. Zahi Hawass, Egypt's most powerful archaeologist. For decades, has controlled every excavation, every discovery, and every ancient secret buried beneath Egypt's sands. I'm talking about the gate that has been closed. Why have you opened the theory again? The is not closed, it is closed. No, it's not. It's not closed, sir. Okay? I closed it, and I am going to close it. I am presenting my own. Okay? I will do this. Even before a word is exchanged, one image, and Mr. Hawass leaves. But here's where it gets strange. Rather than welcoming fresh ideas and discoveries, Hawass is infamous for blocking independent research and silencing alternative theories, especially ones that threaten the official narrative he's worked so hard to uphold. Because most of the information that's written on pyramids are wrong. Most of it. Most of it in archaeology books. Really, except me. Now, I'm no conspiracy theorist, but why exactly has Hawass fought so fiercely to stop certain explorations? Why shut down research at the very moment groundbreaking discoveries are made, discoveries that might rewrite human history itself? Is he protecting Egypt's heritage? Or is he protecting something else entirely? If you've ever wondered whether there's more to the pyramids than meets the eye, trust me, you'll want to keep watching. Because tonight we're diving deep into evidence that's baffled scientists, frustrated archaeologists, and left historians speechless. From hidden chambers, sealed for thousands of years, to precision stonework that's difficult to replicate even today. The reality behind this monument is far stranger and far older than mainstream Egyptology admits. Could the Great Pyramid really have been built using basic hand tools, ropes and wooden rollers, as historians claim? Or was it constructed with ancient technology we've yet to comprehend? And if so, who exactly built it and why? Tonight we'll peel back the layers of secrecy, confront the gatekeepers of history, and reveal evidence hidden in plain sight. Because sometimes, history's greatest secrets aren't lost. They're simply buried by those who prefer that you never ask questions. The answers you're about to discover might just change everything. When most of us think about ancient Egypt, we picture golden tombs, intricate hieroglyphs, and the iconic Great Pyramid of Giza rising out of the desert sands. For years we've been told this incredible monument was built around 2550 BC by Pharaoh Khufu, intended as a grand tomb constructed by thousands of workers armed with little more than basic hand tools. On the surface, this seems like an impressive example of ancient human achievement. But here's the thing, the closer you look, the less convincing this explanation actually becomes. Surprisingly, there's very little solid evidence backing this popular version of history, and it turns out many of our assumptions might be built on shaky ground. Could it be that we've misunderstood who really built the Great Pyramid and how they managed such an astonishing accomplishment? Consider this surprising fact. Even though the Great Pyramid is incredibly important historically, there aren't any clear inscriptions from Khufu's era explicitly stating that he built it. Ancient Egyptians carefully recorded almost every aspect of their lives, from ordinary daily activities to elaborate religious rituals and significant royal events. Yet strangely, they didn't leave behind any clear documentation about constructing their most remarkable monument. Archaeologists sometimes reference faint marks and symbols discovered deep within hidden chambers. But these were found hundreds of years after the pyramid was first explored, raising serious doubts about their authenticity. After all, just because someone's name appears on a structure doesn't necessarily mean they're the ones who built it. One of the most puzzling inconsistencies of all involves the very purpose of the Great Pyramid itself. Mainstream Egyptology consistently maintains that the pyramid was built as Pharaoh Khufu's elaborate tomb. Yet unlike every other known royal Egyptian tomb, the Great Pyramid contains no inscriptions glorifying Khufu, no decorative artifacts, no precious grave goods, and crucially no trace of Khufu's remains. If the pyramid was indeed constructed as a royal burial place, we would expect extensive evidence like treasures, irregular artifacts, and inscriptions typical of royal tombs. But none of these have ever been discovered within the Great Pyramid. This striking absence raises a significant question. Could the pyramid's true purpose have been something entirely different, perhaps more sophisticated or functional than historians have? Traditionally assumed an even greater mystery is the astonishing precision and complexity of the pyramid itself. Modern architects and engineers still marvel at how accurately the Great Pyramid aligns with true north precise to fractions of a single degree. Inside the pyramid, huge granite blocks weighing up to 80 tons each show, evidence of advanced machining and precise drilling techniques that seem far beyond what historians assume ancient Egyptians could achieve with simple copper tools. Engineer Christopher Dunn carefully studied these granite stones, noting perfectly round drill cores and remarkably precise cuts, features extremely difficult, if not impossible, to replicate using primitive methods. Recent attempts by modern researchers to duplicate these cuts with copper chisels have failed dramatically. Their tools quickly became unusable, and they made minimal progress, even after days of continuous effort. This raises an important question. If even today's technology struggles with these tasks, how did ancient Egyptians achieve such precision thousands of years ago now? Dennis, will we see any progress in our lifetime? Yes?
If you came back in an hour's time, you would see about a 4mm drop down into the dome. An equally puzzling detail comes from inside the pyramid's intricate network of passageways and chambers. To construct such complicated internal structures, workers would have needed reliable sources of light to see clearly and navigate safely. Traditionally, historians suggest torches or oil lamps provided this lighting, yet astonishingly, examinations of these chambers and tunnels show no traces of soot smoke residue or scorch marks anywhere on the ceilings or walls, something that would be unavoidable if traditional lighting methods were used. This surprising absence challenges the conventional explanation and raises fascinating questions. Could the pyramid builders have had access to some form of advanced lighting technology, or does this hint at a completely different method of construction altogether? These discoveries suggest an intriguing possibility. The original pyramid builders may have possessed knowledge or technology much more advanced than what mainstream historians currently recognize. Yet instead of openly considering these ideas, mainstream archaeology, particularly under Dr. Zahi Hawass, has strongly defended the established historical narrative. Independent researchers like Robert Bauval, who proposed the Orion correlation theory, suggesting the pyramids align exactly with Orion's belt, as it appeared thousands of years before Khufu, have faced significant resistance. Similarly, researchers like Robert Schoch and John Anthony West have found intriguing geological evidence of extensive water erosion around the Great Sphinx. In fact, John Anthony West clearly showed that the unusual weathering patterns at the Sphinx's base were caused by heavy rainfall and flowing water, not wind or sand erosion, as most Egyptologists typically suggest. Sphinx and its surrounding pit are worn differently. These show a different kind of erosion altogether, a round undulating profile usually caused by rainwater and torrential downpours. Here's the mystery. The last time there was enough rainfall in the Sahara Desert to cause this level of water erosion was over 12,000 years ago, right at the end of the last ice age. Even if the repairs were done because of water damage, a major question is still unanswered. When was there water in the desert? The answer is surprising.
at the end of the last ice age about 12,000 years ago. This fascinating timeline hints that the Sphinx might actually have been built by a much older civilization long before ancient Egypt as we know it even existed. West developed his theory. I think the history of the Sphinx goes something like this. Long ago, before Egypt became desert, the Giza Plateau was a fertile savanna. At its very edge was a large outcrop of natural rock. An unknown group of sculptors, taking advantage of its prominent position, carved the rock into a giant face. May have been the face of a god, or of the lion. Perhaps the Egyptians simply modified or reshaped something already standing. An ancient relic from a forgotten era. Time passed. Shifting weather patterns brought torrential rain to the area, signaling the end of the Ice Age. The rains weathered the lion to virtually the shape we see today. When the rain stopped, the once fertile savanna turned into Sahara Desert. Wind-blown sands buried the statue up to its neck for thousands of years, protecting the body and its telltale traces of water. Weathering. Possibly it was recarved. Certainly, the 4th dynasty kings who built the pyramids around 2500 BC uncovered the Sphinx and further fashioned the face in their image. Pharaoh Khufu didn't build the Sphinx, he restored it. Yet even though this explanation is backed by solid science and is currently the most convincing theory, we have mainstream Egyptologists still reject or overlook it. Surprisingly, they haven't provided many other convincing explanations, either leaving this compelling puzzle about the Sphinx's true age still waiting to be solved. West's discovery raised many questions. In a debate, geologists sided with West Egyptologists have offered few replies to his conclusions. West is really an academic's worst nightmare because here comes somebody way out of left field with a thoroughly well thought out, well presented, coherently described, beautifully written, full of data you can't refute, and it pulls the rug from beneath your feet. So how do they deal with it? They ignore it, they hope it'll go away, and it won't go away. This raises a critical question. Why the resistance to exploring these alternative possibilities? Is the hesitation truly about protecting Egypt's heritage, or could it be about preserving professional reputations, academic traditions, or even national pride? If there genuinely is nothing extraordinary beneath Egypt's sands, then why such persistent secrecy and reluctance to investigate further? Perhaps there's advanced, forgotten technology hidden within the pyramid technology that could fundamentally alter our understanding of ancient civilizations, challenging everything we thought we knew about humanity's past. As we journey deeper into this mystery, the answers we uncover may prove far more surprising and far more significant than we ever imagined. The mystery surrounding who really built the Great Pyramid becomes even more intriguing when we venture inside, because what lies beneath the surface is far stranger than you'd expect. Usually, we're told about just a few rooms, the King's Chamber, the Queen's Chamber, and some connecting passageways. But recent discoveries have revealed something astonishing. The pyramid might be hiding far more than historians ever realized. Back in the early 1990s, a German engineer named Rudolf Gantenbrink made headlines by exploring narrow tunnels inside the Queen's Chamber. Shafts experts believed were purely symbolic, leading nowhere. Using a small robotic camera carefully guided through these tight spaces, he uncovered something extraordinary. A mysterious limestone door fitted neatly into the tunnel, complete with 2 small copper handles, nicknamed Gantenbrink's door. This strange discovery captivated the world instantly. And here's why this matters. Metal fittings like these copper handles had never been found anywhere else inside the pyramid, hinting this door protected something important. But just as Rudolf and his team were poised to discover what lay behind it, Egyptian authorities suddenly halted their investigation without clear explanation. After almost a decade of public anticipation in 2002, another team sponsored by National Geographic returned. They drilled a tiny hole through Gantenbrink's door, only to encounter another sealed limestone slab directly behind it. And incredibly, that second door remains unexplored to this day. Despite repeated requests from researchers worldwide, Further investigation continues to be denied by Egyptian authorities. This sudden resistance at such a critical point naturally raises the question, what's behind the persistent caution? Are officials genuinely concerned about preserving ancient treasures? Or is there something else they prefer to keep hidden? Then in 2017, the intrigue deepened even further. A team of international scientists used cutting-edge technology called muon radiography, essentially an advanced type of cosmic ray scanning, to examine the pyramid's interior without disturbing it. The results were astonishing. They discovered an enormous hidden void, located just above the Grand Gallery, a massive, previously unknown chamber, large enough to rival all the known rooms within the pyramid. Yet there's no visible entrance, and no one has any clue what its purpose might be. Scientists immediately hailed this as one of the most significant archaeological discoveries in decades. But once again, requests for deeper exploration have been consistently denied by Egyptian authorities, citing vague concerns about safety and preservation. Beyond these hidden chambers and sealed-off passages, physical evidence inside the pyramid itself challenges traditional views. Researchers, including engineer Christopher Dunn, have meticulously documented markings and patterns that clearly show evidence of advanced tooling. Dunn closely studied granite blocks in the king's chamber, noting perfectly drilled holes and precision marks consistent with advanced machinery far beyond the capability of simple copper chisels. Granite is among Earth's hardest stones. Basic ancient tools would rapidly wear out or break entirely. So how exactly could ancient builders achieve this? Thousands of years ago, all these strange findings, hidden chambers, mysterious doors, precision tooling suggest something remarkable. Perhaps the pyramid's builders had access to advanced technology, or maybe they inherited knowledge from a much older civilization lost to history. Yet despite these intriguing possibilities, mainstream archaeology maintains a cautious, even defensive approach to further exploration. It might simply be that archaeologists are concerned about protecting Egypt's heritage from sensational claims, but this caution may unintentionally prevent us from discovering vital truths hidden right beneath our feet. Ultimately, we're left with several compelling mysteries. What secrets are concealed behind those sealed limestone doors? What purpose does the massive hidden chamber discovered in 2017 serve, and could exploring these hidden spaces finally reveal who truly built the Great Pyramid, and how they accomplished this astonishing feat? With so many mysteries still hidden deep within the Great Pyramid, one person stands firmly between us and the answers. Dr. Zahi Hawass, the man whose decisions have shaped not only what the public knows about ancient Egypt, but more importantly, what we don't. For decades, Hass has dominated Egyptian archaeology, charismatic, outspoken, and fiercely protective of Egypt's ancient heritage. He's held powerful positions like Secretary General of Egypt's Supreme Council of Antiquities and Minister of Antiquities. These roles have given him unparalleled control over who gets permission to dig, what research can be conducted, and ultimately, which discoveries ever see the light of day. But behind his passionate promotion of Egyptian culture lies a much darker reality, a rigid and secretive system that has consistently blocked researchers attempting to challenge established historical narratives. Now, supporters of Hawass could argue he's simply safeguarding Egypt's priceless treasures from speculative or irresponsible theories. But could there be another, more unsettling possibility? Could Hass's strict regulation intentionally keep certain truths hidden to preserve comfortable, established historical narratives, protecting professional reputations, academic traditions, or even Egypt's national pride? Let me know what you think in the comments below when this video is over, because by carefully deciding who can research and precisely what can be publicly revealed, Hawass has effectively positioned himself as the ultimate gatekeeper of Egyptian history, possibly silencing discoveries capable of rewriting our entire understanding of the ancient world. Hawass's legacy is complicated. On one hand, he has passionately promoted Egyptian culture, dramatically raising Egypt's global profile. But this influence may have come at an unseen cost. His restrictive policies might unintentionally, or perhaps intentionally, have prevented critical exploration and discovery, leaving crucial truths about ancient Egypt still buried beneath the sands. This leaves us with a troubling question. Is Dr. Zahi Hawass genuinely protecting Egypt's heritage, or is he guarding something else? Secrets that could rewrite history entirely until Egyptian archaeology embraces genuine transparency. We may never know exactly what's hidden behind those carefully guarded doors. With these questions still lingering, let's explore some alternative theories that mainstream archaeology seems reluctant to discuss. Independent researchers have discovered compelling evidence that challenges the official story we've always been told. Earlier we mentioned Dr. Robert Schoch's fascinating findings on the Sphinx, suggesting its origins might stretch back far beyond accepted timelines potentially. Linked to an older, forgotten civilization building on this possibility is Robert Bauval's remarkable Orion correlation theory. Bauval noticed something extraordinary. The three main pyramids at Giza perfectly mirror the stars of Orion's belt, but not as they appeared during Pharaoh Khufu's reign. Instead, their alignment precisely matches the constellation's position around 10,500 BC, thousands of years earlier than traditional history accepts. This isn't likely just a coincidence. Orion held deep significance in ancient Egyptian culture, symbolizing the god Osiris, ruler of the afterlife, rebirth, and the eternal cycle of life and death. If Bauval's theory holds true, it could mean the pyramid builders had a sophisticated understanding of astronomy, deliberately encoding their monuments with celestial meaning knowledge. Historians typically believe ancient Egyptians simply didn't possess. Taking things even further, some researchers suggest Egypt's impressive monuments might actually connect back to a much older lost civilization, one with advanced technology and skills far surpassing anything historians currently recognize. Engineer Christopher Dunn meticulously examined the granite blocks inside the Great Pyramid and discovered evidence of precise drilling marks and advanced tool cuts that primitive copper chisels simply couldn't produce. Granite is incredibly hard, and even with modern hand tools, precise cuts like Dunn observed would be complicated. Could ancient Egyptians really have managed such intricate craftsmanship with basic tools, or were they assisted by technologies from another civilization entirely? Another puzzling inconsistency surrounds how the Egyptians transported enormous granite blocks to the pyramid site. Some of these massive stones weigh up to 80 tons each, and their source was located over 500 meters away from the Giza Plateau mainstream. Historians have provided no convincing explanation for how ancient Egyptians could have moved these immense stones across such vast distances, especially without the aid of wheels or advanced machinery. Even today, transporting stones of this size and weight would present extraordinary logistical challenges requiring heavy-duty equipment, specialized transport vehicles, and extensive planning. This significant gap in the traditional narrative raises an obvious question. How exactly could ancient builders have achieved what would still be incredibly challenging for modern engineers? Graham Hancock expands on this theory, proposing that there was once an advanced global civilization now forgotten, lost, due to a devastating global catastrophe or gradual decline. Hancock points to archaeological sites worldwide, notably Göbekli in Turkey, an impressive complex of temples dating back around 12,000 years as evidence of this vanished civilization. Hancock suggests that the sophisticated knowledge possessed by these ancient people wasn't lost entirely. Rather, surviving fragments were passed down, eventually influencing the early Egyptians. Researchers like John Anthony West and Dr. Robert Schoch echo this view, suggesting the Egyptians didn't spontaneously develop their incredible architectural, astronomical, and mathematical abilities overnight. Instead, they proposed that these advanced capabilities were inherited from a much older civilization, explaining why ancient Egyptian culture appears to emerge suddenly fully formed and sophisticated, rather than gradually developing over time. Although mainstream Egyptology typically dismisses these theories as improbable or even impossible, growing evidence makes them increasingly difficult to ignore. Consider, for instance, the mysterious Oirian temple at Abydos. Constructed from massive granite blocks, this structure displays advanced precision and craftsmanship, matching what we've seen inside the Great Pyramid. skills supposedly beyond the reach of early Egyptians. Similarly, the massive granite boxes at the Serapum of Saqqara show extraordinary precision that would challenge even today's modern machinery, let alone Bronze Age tools. These remarkable discoveries seriously challenge the established historical narrative about ancient Egypt, hinting at hidden layers of history still waiting to be uncovered. Is it possible that mainstream archaeology has overlooked or perhaps intentionally ignored evidence pointing to an older, highly advanced civilization behind Egypt's most iconic monuments? If so, who exactly were these mysterious builders? And how did they possess knowledge and technology far beyond their time after? Looking closely at everything we've explored, the puzzling lack of inscriptions clearly linking Pharaoh Khufu to the Great Pyramid, the incredibly precise stonework that seems far too advanced for simple tools-sealed chambers still waiting to be opened, and evidence hinting at a much older origin. We're left questioning the official version of history we've always been taught. These fascinating discoveries suggest that the pyramid's builders likely had knowledge and techniques far more advanced than mainstream history gives them credit for. While this idea might seem unusual at first, each new clue we find makes it more believable. Perhaps the ancient Egyptians knew more than we realize, and their advanced techniques were simply lost over time. Or maybe these monuments were actually built by an earlier civilization whose skills were passed down or adapted by the Egyptians later on. But if these ideas are so intriguing, why does mainstream archaeology still hesitate to explore them fully? One reason is that accepting an older, more advanced civilization could mean drastically changing the story we currently accept. Historians, archaeologists, and even entire countries have built their identities and reputations around the traditional timeline. Rewriting history books, museum exhibits, and deeply held ideas isn't easy. For Egypt, acknowledging that its famous pyramids might predate their known civilization or might not be purely Egyptian creations touches sensitive issues of national pride and identity. By resisting deeper exploration into hidden chambers, ancient technologies, and alternative historical explanations, mainstream archaeology may unintentionally be keeping important truths hidden beneath the desert sands. Imagine if we found clear evidence beneath Egypt's desert of an advanced civilization forgotten by history. Such a discovery wouldn't just change our view of Egypt. It could alter our entire understanding of human history, challenging everything we've assumed about our ancestors and the incredible things they might have accomplished. Standing at the brink of these profound mysteries, we must ask ourselves, will archaeologists finally open these sealed doors and explore what's hidden inside, or will the secrets of the Great Pyramid remain locked away? And do you think Zahi Hawass is protecting Egypt's heritage or hiding the truth? Comment below. Also waiting for future generations brave enough to seek the truth for more ancient mysteries. Be sure to check out our other videos and subscribe to join us as we continue exploring the fascinating stories history still has left to reveal. Thanks for watching, and as always, until next time, stay safe.